Spoiler alert!
Welcome to Spoiler Alert. I'm Ryan, and today I'm going to fly solo and talk about the 2024 Oscars because it's pretty much contractually obligated that if you have a movie podcast, you have to talk about the Oscars. All right, so let's start straight away with Jimmy Kimmel, in which, oh my god, his opening monologue was fucking terrible. That is one of the very few things in my lifetime I agree with Donald Trump on this one. Because, man, Joe Coy did better in his opening monologue than fucking Jimmy Kimmel. I'm just so sick and tired of the tired jokes slamming movies, talking about how Killers of the Flower Moon is way too long. Oh my god, each movie on average is 2 hours and 23 minutes long. That was nominated for Best Picture. Remember when we celebrated films at the Oscars and not slammed them? And then you cut to what felt like a rejected Fablemans joke from last year, and they cut to Steven Spielberg, and he looks really goddamn pissed off. But I will say the MVP of this Oscar ceremony is motherfucking Snoop from Anatomy of a Fall. The Oscars brought Snoop to the Oscars. Thank God. Because when they cut to Snoop for the first time, I'm like, thank you. Just cut away from this unfunny shit. But one thing I did like about Jimmy Kimmel's monologue is that he ended it on paying tribute to the union workers that are more behind the scenes, your gaffers, your best boys, all those kind of people. And I felt that was really cool of him to do that. All right, so with that out of the way, we got our first major award of the night, in which you have past Oscar winners introducing each nominee. Now, they did try this, I believe, in 2009 or 2010, and I do like the format of it, but I feel it's poorly paced. I personally like the idea of introducing the Oscar clip where you see their acting at work. You had last year's Oscar winner in supporting actress with Jamie Lee Curtis introducing Jodie Foster. You had Mary Steenburgen introducing Emily Blunt. You had Lupita Nyong'o introducing Davon Joy Randolph. You had Rita Moreno introducing America Ferrera, and you had Regina King introducing Daniel Brooks. And Jamie Lee Curtis announces Davon Joy Randolph for the holdovers. She was my will and should win, and I felt she should have been nominated for and won for Dolomite Is My Name. Davon Joy Randolph is such a great fucking actress. And I love that straight away. The first thing she said was, God is so good. Like, even if I'm iffy on religion right now, I just love the fact that she straight away said that. I love that she thanked her theater coaches. I love that she thanked everyone. Like, she even made a joke about thanking her publicist. And I just loved just the pure joy of Davon Joy Randolph's speech. You could just tell she was just happy to be there. All right, and then we get to Jimmy Kimmel here doing more unfunny animation is for kids bullshit with that shitty ass raise your hand if you let your kid fill out this ballot. Did we not award an anti-fascist take on Pinocchio last year directed by Guillermo del Toro? You can kindly fuck off with this bullshit. And then you have War is Over taking animated short because, of course, if you're going to intrinsically tie an animated short to John Lennon's music, yeah, it's a guaranteed Oscar win. And Sean Lennon just looked like he was on something. Like, he clearly did not want to be up on that stage. But I did like the fact that he said he wanted to celebrate Mother's Day, which Mother's Day is March 10th, usually in England, according to him. And animated feature was like the big upset, but I kind of saw it coming. Boy and the Heron defeated Spider-Man across the Spider-Verse. Have you ever taken a test and you had the correct answer down, and then you erase it and go with your gut instinct and get it wrong? That was me in this category because I originally had Boy and the Heron as my will win and Spider-Verse as my should win. And then I decided, I think Spider-Verse is going to be my will/should win. And Boy and the Heron takes it. I was like, God damn it, I should have picked Boy and the Heron. Because it's more than likely going to be Hayao Miyazaki's last film. It is more than likely going to be the last major Studio Ghibli film. And even then, I haven't watched Boy and the Heron yet because I have yet to watch a Miyazaki or Studio Ghibli film. But if you have suggestions for good starting points for me, go ahead and place those in the comments because I'm genuinely interested in checking out the works of Studio Ghibli. I just don't know where to start. And I'm just going to say this bluntly. Whatever it costs to bring back Billy Crystal or even Seth MacFarlane, please pay it. I just got so tired of Jimmy Kimmel for the night. We get to the original screenplay nominee, which I knew dead set was going to be Anatomy of a Fall. Even though my should win was The Holdovers, and then yesterday Variety dropped that shitty smear article, which I felt was horrible on their part. Because if you read the segments of the alleged plagiarized script and the holdover script, 2 and 2 don't quite add up to 4. And so Anatomy of a Fall ended up winning screenplay, which, yeah, I saw that coming. It wasn't exactly my pick, but I knew it was going to win. And I liked the fact that Justine Triet and her co-writer came out to PIMP. I thought that was actually pretty cool. And then we get to the adapted screenplay nominee. Again, another instance of you have the correct answer filled out, you erase it, and then go with your gut. My pick for this was Barbie because I felt they were going to respond to Greta Gerwig getting snubbed for director, and you had Noah Baumbach attached to that as well. And then American Fiction wins adapted screenplay. However, Poor Things was my should win in that category. I loved every minute of the writing of that. One thing I will say, one of the best speeches of the night was from Cord Jefferson, when he said, try making $10 million movies. I loved what he had to say in that speech.
I understand that this is a risk-averse industry. I get it. But $200 million movies are also a risk, and it doesn't always work out, but you take the risk anyway. And instead of making one $200 million movie, try making 20 $10 million movies, or 50, right? 50 $4 million movies.
And even if I'm centrist trash on American Fiction, I still think that was one hell of a speech. And that makes me look forward to what he has in the future. And then we get to the What Was I Made For performance, in which Billie Eilish and Phineas are performing on a turning podium. And this just confirms she won her second Oscar. And the other surprise win of the night for me was Poor Things winning makeup. This I felt was my should win, but I had Maestro as well win because I thought they were going to give Bradley something. Well, sorry, Bradley. You're going to have to beg for another Oscar. And I really should have went with my gut on Poor Things, but the other fuck yeah victory was Poor Things winning production design, which was my second will/should win of the night, alongside Dave Joy Randolph. And then Jimmy Kimmel talks about the 50th anniversary of The Streaker while sneaking in another tired slap joke. And thank fucking Christ John Cena saved this bit. Because John Cena is like upstaging him in every fucking way. Everything he said was fucking hysterical. His timing was dead on. It made me think, you know, maybe however much John Cena wants, pay him to host the Oscars next year. That's the second pick of Oscars. I don't care how much it costs, get him to host. And John Cena actually genuinely made me laugh in this bit. And he goes to present costume. And Poor Things sweeps costume. That was my should win. I picked Barbie as my will win. And then the Zone of Interest ends up winning International Feature, which I figured that was going to be the case. Because if Anatomy of a Fall was nominated, it would have been a Gladstone versus Stone situation where either one of those could have fucking won. But I'm glad Zone of Interest won because that is a really good movie. I am definitely not going to watch again. And then you have Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt presenting tribute to stunts so they don't have to announce a Best Stunts category. And so they can also promote The Fall Guy. But hey, we're getting Best Casting in a couple of years. All right, and then we get to the Supporting Actor nominations. You have Sam Rockwell introducing Robert Downey Jr., you have Christoph Waltz introducing Ryan Gosling, you have Ke Huy Quan, last year's winner, introducing Sterling K. Brown, you have Tim Robbins introducing Robert De Niro, and then you have Mahershala Ali introducing Mark Ruffalo, and no surprise here, RDJ wins. And RDJ just comes out swinging. Like, just cocksure, uber confident, just being Robert Downey Jr. I just fucking love this guy.
Thanks, Sam. Thanks, fellas. That's amazing. You only flubbed one line. I'd like to thank my terrible childhood and the Academy.
And then, after RDJ's speech, they cut to Snoop proving that he's the best actor in Anatomy of a Fall, being a good boy after RDJ's speech. He's such a good boy. And so far for me, it's between Cord Jefferson and Robert Downey Jr., who I felt had the best speeches of the night. And then we bring out Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. Like, fuck yes. And again, Oscars, I don't care how much it costs. Bring these two back to host. Then Danny DeVito had the really great joke where he said, we both tried to kill Batman. And then they kept cutting to Michael Keaton looking like Batman, and I kind of got a huge laugh out of it. I'm glad he was in on that joke. And then they announced Godzilla -1 for VFX. I'm just gonna say it. Fuck the orchestra for playing the shut up music while the winners were trying to speak English for them. I felt that was fucking disrespectful. And then they also present for editing, and the chemistry between these two is spot on. I kind of wish that we got triplets, but sadly that's not going to be as Ivan Reitman passed away. And straight away, I love how Jennifer Lame, the Oscar winner for Oppenheimer, was genuinely stoked to get her Oscar from Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. And then we get to what felt like a really truncated performance from John Batiste performing his Best Original Song nominee from American Symphony. And I really liked it, but it felt like it was extremely truncated. Like, there was supposed to be more to this. He played, like, essentially the hurry-up version of this. And I noticed the same thing with Billie Eilish's What Was I Made For? And then we're back to Jimmy Kimmel doing shtick. And then Guillermo saves Jimmy Kimmel's ass again by giving everybody in the crowd tequila. And now we're on to documentary, short, and feature, in which Last Repair Shop, which honestly is the only documentary short I watched out of these, and the one I picked as my will should win, that ended up taking documentary short. And I love the fact that they brought up this little 12-year-old girl who's learning how to play violin thanks to this repair shop. And I'm all about films that promote music education. And of course, if it's topical, it's going to win Best Documentary. I knew straight away without watching a frame 20 Days in Mariupol was going to win. And I like the fact that the filmmaker pointed out that it was the first Oscar in Ukrainian history. And then you have Zendaya presenting cinematographer, which I was like, okay, sure. I don't know if Zendaya's the person to be presenting something like this. And the winner for that is Hoyt van Hoytema, who should have been a back-to-back winner for Nope and Oppenheimer. But of course, Nope didn't get nominated for shit. And then you have Rami Youssef and Issa Rae presenting live-action short, with Wes Anderson winning Best Live-Action Short and not being there to pick it up. But the thing about this is, I really feel like the live-action shorts should go to an unknown. They shouldn't go to somebody just because they have name recognition. I saw bits and pieces of Henry Sugar, and it's just like, yep, it's a Wes Anderson film, all right. I said this on Letterboxd. It bears repeating. I'm white, but I'm not. Oh my god, every Wes Anderson film is a fucking 10 out of 10 masterpiece. White. And then we cut to Becky G performing the Diane Warren Flaming Hot song, because Diane Warren is contractually obligated to be nominated for every Best Original Song Oscar. Diane Warren and John Williams are both people who can make fart noises with their mouths and still be nominated for Best Original Song or Best Original Score. They don't have to try anymore. Then we get to the sound category, and Zone of Interest takes sound. That was another will/should win for me, because sound is so crucial to that film. It hurts. If it weren't for the sound design in that film, I don't think I would have liked it as much. And then we get to the I'm Just Ken performance, which, keep in mind, David Zaslav almost cut this seat out. And now you have Ryan Gosling performing to a full-ass fucking crowd. And then they bring out motherfucking Slash towards the end of the song. This, to me, was the best performance of the original song nominees, because there's a lot of fun to it. There's a lot of excitement to it. I had a good time watching it, and I love whenever Slash is involved with something. And coincidentally, I was at an Oscars party hosted by the people of FilmToledo when watching the Oscars, and it just so happened that I was wearing a Guns N' Roses shirt, not knowing this was going to happen. So it just happened to be pure happenstance that Slash would show up in a surprise cameo for I Just Ken. And then we get to Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo presenting Score, because they got Wicked coming out, which is every basic white girl's Avengers Infinity War. Yeah, this was another will/should win for me. Congrats to Ludwig Göransson for Oppenheimer. I love this guy, whether it's his producing or his composing for film. Ludwig Göransson is such an awesome dude. Like, I could watch this guy talk about music for hours. Like, anytime I see a video about Ludwig Göransson breaking down his craft, I automatically click on it, because that guy just gets it. And then, of course, Billie Eilish wins again, and Billie Eilish says, I had a nightmare about this, or something like that. Well, Billie, you have 2 Oscars now, a fuck ton of Grammys. You can do whatever the fuck you want now. Bring on the Billie Eilish death metal album. No, seriously. I want to see a poppy level turn from her. I think her voice would crush it in a rock format. And then we get to what is easily somehow worse than the fucking Jimmy Kimmel opening monologue. The In Memoriam segment, which starts off with a quote from Navalny, who was killed by the Russians. And then you have these dancers dancing during an In Memoriam segment in which you could barely see the screen. And quite frankly, I think this is extremely, extremely fucking disrespectful to the many legends that died. Say what you will about, like, the microsecond clips, and then they tee it up for Chadwick Boseman to take Best Actor, and then they give it to Anthony Hopkins, who did not give two fucks and did not show up. At least they honored the fallen. They didn't do something obnoxious and distracting by having a bunch of dancers and then having a song which I mostly associate with Step Brothers. I mean, you might as well have just had John C. Reilly come on and yell boats and hoes every 10 seconds to make it even more disrespectful. But my God, I hated every minute of that In Memoriam segment, to the point that I kind of forgave Jimmy Kimmel's shitty opening monologue. My God, I was in shock when I watched that. I couldn't believe what I was watching. You know, maybe bring someone out to sing something mournful. Maybe have Ashley Parks sing The Way We Were. Something. Maybe just don't get a bunch of dancers to classical music. So then we get to the Best Actor nominees, where you have Ben Kingsley introducing Cillian Murphy. You have Forrest Whitaker introducing Coleman Domingo. You have Brendan Fraser introducing Jeffrey Wright. You have Nicolas Cage introducing Paul Giamatti, which I think is the best pairing of the night. And then you have Matthew McConaughey introducing Bradley Cooper. And of course, Cillian takes it. No surprises there. The most obvious win of the night was going to be Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer. And then Spielberg presents Best Director on the 30th anniversary for Schindler's List. In which, congratulations, Christopher Nolan. That was the other easy sweep of the night. My other will/should win. And then we get to Best Actress, in which Michelle Yeoh is introducing Sandra Hüller. You have Charlize Theron introducing Annette Bening. You have Jessica Lange introducing Carey Mulligan. Jennifer Lawrence introducing Lily Gladstone. And then you have Sally Field introducing Emma Stone. For me, this battle was between Gladstone versus Stone. And these were two actors that if either of these two won, I would jump for joy. This was practically a tie for will/should win for me. Because, honestly, if I were to do a will/should win for either of these two, both Emma Stone and Lily Gladstone. And then, the big surprise of the night, I had to do the gun-to-head choice and choose a winner between Lily Gladstone and Emma Stone. And I chose Lily Gladstone because she was my favorite performance of the year. But if any actress in that category deserved it, it was Emma Stone. And congratulations to Emma Stone for her second Oscar. She absolutely fucking deserved it. I loved her in Poor Things. It's one of the best wins of the night. If it weren't Lily Gladstone, I'm glad it was her. And I love what she said when she was talking about acting. And there was one line that stuck out with me. It's all of us together. When she was talking about the camaraderie of a film set. And I loved that she was just genuinely happy to be up there. I never think that Emma Stone would get another Oscar after La La Land. But I am just so happy for her because I genuinely loved Emma Stone from the moment I first saw Superbad, and I thought she was ridiculously gorgeous. I was like, oh my God, I just want to marry this girl. Not only is she funny, she's insanely gorgeous. Like, hell, she's the only reason I even watched The Rocker. I know, go to horny jail. And then you get Al Pacino presenting Best Picture because it's Godfather Part 2's 50th anniversary. And Al Pacino just looks out of it. He looks so dementia-old. It's like Lady Gaga should have been up there saying, I got you, and read the winner. And surprise, surprise.
And may I see Oppenheimer? Yes. Yes, Emma Thomas, Charles Grodin. What happened?
Oppenheimer won Best Picture. And for the second year in a row, my favorite film of the year won Best Picture. Like, fuck yes. I am so glad Oppenheimer won Best Picture. It's another instance where the Best Picture truly won Best Picture. I was so happy for Christopher Nolan when he finally got not one, but 2 Oscars for his work on Oppenheimer. And I am so glad that Warner Brothers Discovery is crawling back to him. But there was one other thing that happened that kind of redeemed Jimmy Kimmel for me. Apparently, Donald Trump took to Truth Social to whine and moan about the Oscars. And then Jimmy Kimmel read it live. And then he said something to the effect of, isn't it past your jail time? And then got the biggest fucking laugh of the night. You know what, Jimmy? Sure, I'll forgive your shitty ass fucking monologue for that beautiful roast of Donald Trump. And all you just did was just read his Truth Social post. You know what? I think that deserves a combo breaker.
Thank you for watching. I'm surprised you're still. Isn't it past your jail time?
Combo breaker!
So why did I think of this year's Oscars? I enjoyed this year's Oscars. I had more fun watching it. There were a couple issues I had with the Oscars this year, namely Kimmel's tired jokes. I liked the idea of past Oscar winners presenting in the acting categories, but pacing-wise, it just doesn't work. I'd rather see the clips. I'd rather see the display of acting instead of just one actor fawning over another. And god damn it, the In Memoriam segment fucking sucked. Not only could I have put together a better In Memoriam segment, it just fucking horrified me how shitty that was. But with all that said, be sure to like, comment, share, spread the word on New Realms Media. Follow me on all my socials at New Realms Media. And until then, I'm just Ken. Anywhere else I'd be a 10.